Once again, present good morning to everyone. In our last video, we discussed Unit 7 Surface Chemistry. In that video, we discussed about what about the colloidal solution, what about the introduction of that, then what about the types of colloidal solution. Then we discussed what about the methods of preparation of colloidal solution. The colloidal solution can be prepared by two methods. One is dissipation method, second one is condensation method. For the dissipation method, the breaking of larger particles to the colloidal dissipation degree or the smaller colloidal dimension. Next, what about the condensation method? The condensation method is nothing but the association of atoms or molecules or ion to form the colloidal particles. So, what are the types involved in the dispersion medium? What are the types involved in the condensation method? Already discussed in the previous videos. Then, what about the condensation method? The condensation method, also called as aggregation methods. The condensation method can be employed by four ways. One is double decomposition, second is reduction, third is oxidation, fourth is hydrolysis. We discussed what are the examples for that. Next, we discussed the physical method, the exchange of solvent. What is the exchange of solvent? The condensing vapor of a substance into a solvent, excessive cooling. Such a method is called as exchange of solvent. This is one of the physical methods. Then we discussed what about the dissipation method. What is dissipation method? The bigger particles can be broken down into a smaller particle with a colloidal dimension. Here, the dissipation method can be employed by four methods. The first is mechanical dissipation method by using colloidal mill. Next, arc method or Bredig arc method. The fourth is ultrasonic method. What is the ultrasonic method? By passing a ultrasonic waves, the larger particles are broken into smaller particles. Then the fourth method is nothing but pepsidation method. What is the pepsidation method? It's one of the pepsidation. By using pepsidation agent, you have to do the precipitation. Such a method is called as pepsidation method. So these are all already discussed in the previous videos. Now in this session or in this video, you have to see about what about the purification of colloidal solution. The purification of the colloidal solution can be employed by four methods. The first one is dialysis, the second is electrodialysis, the third is ultrafiltration. The fourth one is ultra centrifugation. Is not in our syllabus. So in our syllabus, here only the three methods. One is dialysis, second is ultra electrodialysis, third is ultrafiltration method. We will see one by one. Purification of colloidal solution. The removal of the particles of electrolyte from salt is known as purification of source. It can be achieved by any one of the following methods. The first one, dialysis. The second one, electrodialysis. The third one, ultrafiltration. First, I will say the orally what is the dialysis by washing method. So, the colloidal solution we wash by using water. So, such a method is called as dialysis, like a kidney dialysis. The kidney dialysis can be takes place based on this dialysis method. Next, what about the electrodialysis? The ordinary dialysis with the applying of electric current. Electric current apply panni nam enna panna porom again and the colloidal solution wash panna porom. Wash pannadhu mooliyama you will get the pure colloidal solution. The third is ultrafiltration. Same filtration method but you are using some name. This is called ultrafiltration by using ultrafilter. By using the ultrafilter. What is ultrafilter? Nothing but the special type of filter paper. The special type of filter paper is called as ultrafilter. By using ultrafilter, we purify the colloidal solution. Such a method is called as ultrafiltration. Now you see what about the dialysis. So what is the dialysis? The dialysis is nothing but a mixture containing colloidal particles and the particles of two solution is placed in a parchment bag. The bag is hanged in water vessel through which is continuously flowing. The particles of two solution come out of membrane, leaving behind colloidal solution. Or mixture the mixture is containing colloidal particle and a two solution. It has to place in a parchment bag. So parchment bag, what is the parchment bag? The parchment bags are nothing but the animal membranes are those made up of parchment paper or cellophane sheet have very fine pores. These pores permit ions to pass through but not in the larger particles. So the parchment paper may be made by animal bladder. Not a parchment paper. So by using parchment paper or animal bladder or any cellophane sheet, but it has to very ஃபைன் porous, ரொம்ப ஸ்மால் porous இருக்கணும். அந்த porous எடுத்து நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போறேன், ஸோ அதில் பார்ட்டிகல்ஸ் சொல்லலாம் ஜஸ்ட் இட் ஹஸ் டு அலோவ் a smallest minute particle, small minute particle தான் அலோவ் பண்ணணும். ஸோ அந்த பேக் என்ன பண்ண போறேன், திஸ் பேக் ஹேங்கட் இன்டு த வாட்டர் வெசல் which is continuously flowing. அந்த வாட்டர் பேக் என்ன பண்ண போறேன், அந்த வாட்டர் பேக் எடுத்து you had to keep into the water vessel by continuously flowing apart. So this is a inlet, this is a outlet. My inlet வழி outlet நம்ம கண்டினியூஸா வாட்டர் வந்து நம்ம it has to continue sweeping. அப்படி ஃப்ளோ பண்ணும்போது அந்த ஸ்மால் ஹோல் வழியா so the particles, the two solutions can be come out through the small hole. So remaining, the colloidal solutions are remaining begin into the bag. So such a method is called as a dialysis. So in the dialysis base பண்ண என்ன பண்றோம், the kidney வந்து என்ன பண்றோம், dialysis பண்ண போறோம். So this is called as a dialysis. Dialysis can be takes place by using parchment bag or any aluminum bladder, or is the paper pipe made by a parchment paper or cellophane sheet. It has to contains a small fine porous. These porous permit ions to pass through but not larger colloidal particles. That's about the dialysis. Next about the electrodialysis. Now only said the electrodialysis is nothing but the same as the dialysis but by applying current. The process is the same as above. The vessel is fitted with the electrodes which make the removal of electrolytes quick. On applying the EMF ions of electrolytes migrate out of the opposite charge electrodes while the colloid particles are held back. அப்ப என்ன பண்ண போறாங்க, இங்க nothing but same setup தான். அந்த செட்டப்ல கேட்ட ஃபிட் வித் electrodes like anode and cathode. So anode and cathode நம்ம வந்து so either side நம்ம வந்து place பண்ண போறோம். place பண்ணிட்டு by applying current or else by applying the EMF ions. அப்ப EMF apply பண்ணும்போது what about the ions of electrolyte? The ions of electrolyte migrate out to the opposite charge electrodes. So by applying the current, so the charged ions can be moved towards the opposite charge electrodes. What about the anions are moved towards the anode, the cations are moved towards the cathode. Finally we get the chargeless, the neutral colloidal particles are held back. Held back means it has to begin into the parchment bag. Such a dialysis is called as a electrodialysis. Here the electrodialysis can be applicable only for non-electrolyte. So only for non-electrolyte. It has non-electrolyte impurities like a sugar and urea. இது எல்லாம் வந்து இந்த ions produce பண்ணாதோ அந்த மாதிரி impurities மட்டுமே இந்த methods வந்து applicable ஆகும். So electrolysis is nothing but is same as the dialysis by applying current. நம்ம current apply பண்ணும்போது the charged particles can be moved towards the opposite charge electrodes. Finally you get the pure solution of colloidal solution. So that's about the electrodialysis. Next what about the ultrafiltration? So ultrafiltration is nothing but the normal filter method. Here you are using a special type of filter paper. That filter is called as a ultrafilter. Now we'll see what about the ultrafiltration. The pores of ordinary filter paper are made smaller in size by treating with the solution of gelatin or collodion. The collodion is nothing but the 4% of nitrocellulose in mixture of alcohol and ether. Handling by a formaldehyde and drying. So என்ன சொல்ல போனாக்கா the ordinary filter paper it has to contain a smaller size. So how it is made? It has to treated with a solution of gelatin or collodion. So collodion is nothing but the 4% solution of nitrocellulose in mixture of alcohol and ether. Alcohol ether எடுத்து அதுல 4% நானும் 4% solution of nitrocellulose prepare பண்ணி அதெல்லாம் என்ன பண்ண போறேன் filter பண்ண ட்ரீட் பண்ண முடியுமா, we'll get a ultra filter. So finally the ultra filter can be hardening. Hardening is nothing but you have to choke into the formaldehyde. Formaldehyde நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், அத தோல்வெல்ல choke பண்ணி ஊற வச்சு எடுத்து நம்ம வந்து so dry பண்ணோம்னாக்கா we'll get a ultra filter. It contains a minute smaller hole is there. So the colloidal particles left on the filter paper or then stir with the fresh dispersion medium to get the pure colloidal solution. So இங்க என்ன சொல்ல வரேனாக்கா அந்த processல என்ன பண்ண போறேன், so அந்த பார்ட்ல just நம்ம வந்து filter பண்ண போறோம். filter பண்ணும்போது so நம்ம colloidal particle can be get as a filtered கிடைக்கும். Then again you have to pour the freshly dispersed medium, we'll get a pure colloidal solution. By using ultrafilter the filtration will take place, that is also ultrafiltration. The separation of the salt particles from the liquid medium and electrolytes by filtration through an ultrafilter is called as ultrafiltration. So that's all about the ultrafiltration. So by using this method you can purify the colloidal solution. The methods are dialysis, electrodialysis, ultrafiltration. What is the dialysis? By applying water is one of the washing method. Or the electrodialysis is nothing but by applying current into the dialysis method. Next what about the ultrafiltration? Ultrafiltration is nothing but by using ultrafilter we'll get so you have to do the purification, that is called ultrafiltration. What is ultrafilter is nothing but the ordinary filter paper can be treated with a solution of gelatin or collodion, collodions treated with the collodion, hardening by a formaldehyde and drying. What is the collodions? Nothing but the 4% solution of nitrocellulose, mixture of alcohol and ether. So that's about the purification of colloidal solution.